Hey folks, welcome to the stream. It's getting started. We're gonna play our 5 minutes of Sylvan's music and then we'll get into it. So enjoy. Alright, folks, let's get started then. I'm Ninja Kitty. Hey! And, I play improv piano, which mostly just means I play whatever comes to mind. That's generally what we get. As far as the quest things, not the best playing music or playing by ear, so I can't play just any random song on the fly. Super sorry, but hey, if you get... Oh, wait. But today we're playing Midi Minecraft Thursday. Yes, welcome. Maybe, yes. And happy Halloween, Hallows Eve, Candy Day, or whatever else you feel like it should be. It's great. I love the 31st. It's a good day. Yes, I am dressed up as my character. This is as close as I'm going to get. got her iconic goggles. They're Tinker's goggles. We will get them eventually in this run, and I will remove them from her skin so that I can then use the actual Tinker's goggles because I love Traveler's armor. But yes, no, it's good. It's good. So, steampunk-esque elf. It's good. But yes, welcome to the game. Yeah. So we are going to play Blightfall again today with the piano. It'll be good. It'll be good. Our standard 2-hour stream here. Sorry about being just a touch late. I had to get everything set up, and it was being longer than I wanted to. So sorry. But I think we can probably... Yeah. So, where were we? Last we were playing, we still needed our lapis. And you see, I said I was going to go look for lapis during the week, but I'm sorry to say, folks, but we failed to do that. My apologies. So yes, I'm also doing voices because I feel like it. Deal with it. But yeah, so we didn't find the lapis, but I do think we should this time go up north and get those other teleports that we didn't before. I think that would be fun. I did want to wait for the quest to get completed first, but I fear that the lapis will be easier to get maybe while we're looking through caves and such. As we venture forth, we will be passing through a few caves and other useful resources on the way by, so we might be able to find the lapis in one of these other caches. It is very plausible that we do find something along the way. But you see here, folks, I think that perhaps we will be heading up to the northern end of the continent, to the tundra, where there is spoilers. So if you care for doing anything on your own, I'm sorry, you should go play the game. Anyways, we will commence this playthrough of the game today. Let's go. Yes, also for Halloween, I dressed up my character. So I had to test. I've had the test world up there. So where is F5? There it is. Ah, you can't see it. She's wearing armor. Sorry, I know I'm not using the piano, and I should be. There you go. She's dressed up as Ninja Kitty. Cool, huh? Stop that, pig. I'm trying to demonstrate the skin. Ta-da! She's got a tail. Haha. And cat ears. Anyways, so that's kind of what we're doing today. Um, I killed the mini. All right. Anyways, enjoy. Alright, so just a quick check-in because I'm trying to decide where I'm going next. Yeah, we got about 18 minutes-ish till we take a break. But so next, so we just got Omega in the treehouse, and that was really great. We managed to get ourselves the tool table. Now, what the tool table does for us is it lets us make more complicated and more powerful tools. Namely, what we're going to be really wanting going forward is the excavator, the hammer, and the lumber axe. Those three are the upgraded kind of breaking tools. The excavator does dirt and gravel. The hammer does rock and stone of various kinds. And the lumber axe chops trees in one go. So we don't need to like worry about all the issues of chopping down every individual log. It'll take care of all the leaves too. So that's really good. Lumber axe is huge. So and then the others, then all three of them will break their type of block in a 3x3 based on the face you break it on. And so we can break a lot more blocks a lot faster, which will be useful for looking for things in the mine. So big to get those tools. We're going to hold off on them just a little bit longer. Oh, side note, do you notice there in the background how there's trees, there's spikes. They were trees. If you were noticing toward the beginning of the run, those were jungle trees. There's actually a jungle just over there, and if you've maybe seen on passing on my map. So this is a mechanic that I'll mention here. The trees, right? I mentioned this when we were on the Obsidian Tower. Trees slowly corrupt and melt, turn into crusted taint. Crusted taint will turn into either goo. I think it spontaneously turns into goo. But it'll also turn into the taint swarm spawners. The trees don't actually start decaying until they're loaded. So if you haven't noticed, at the very bottom of the continent, there's a fancy forest down there. And I've actually been staying away from that. That's why one of the main reasons why we approached the obelisk, or the Obsidian Tower from the backside, is so that we didn't disturb that forest. Because when I clean that forest, I want to make sure I get it good, because those trees are more special. We'll get to those eventually. But anyways, so everywhere I go, I bring destruction, because henceforth the trees start melting and turn into stalks like that you see in the background there of my image. When you try to clean them, notice also on the other side of my screen, you see that green outside of the dome. That's from the ethereal blooms. We put the ethereal blooms at the edge of the dome, and they've been cleaning outside of it because there's a radius around them. So that's good. When crusted taint gets cleaned by the cleaning force of the blooms or anything else that does cleaning, the crusted taint will turn into goo. Goo is bad for two reasons. One, it gives you flux flu, which gives you a couple reasons. Flux flu makes it so that all your magic is less efficient. There's an efficiency of spells and stuff, discounts and whatnot. And so that's an effect that makes those discounts worse. The other thing that can come with that is that the goo turns into thaumic slimes, which are those purple slimes we were fighting in the mine. That's what happens when also bats get tainted and die. They don't turn into tainted animals, they turn into slimes. Anything that doesn't have a tainted version turns into a thaumic slime. So the goo will also turn into thaumic slimes, which means if you're clearing a large area, the whole area might be covered in slimes. So you got to worry about that later when you start doing heavy duty cleaning. But going forward from there, we have the other thing that it does is it turns into flux. And the flux gas, it evaporates and it goes up. And if it can just go up, it disappears into space. Good. But if it gets caught on something, it can actually spread taint to that thing that it's sitting on. And that's bad, because that will retaint the area. So You got to be very careful about crusted taint and how much of it there is, and deal with it appropriately. Because if I go over there and melt those trees and turn them all into goo, it'll be a huge flood of goo, right? That goo will turn into monsters. It will turn into gas, and it will decrease my magic efficiency, and that's bad. Especially if I've decided that I'm going to use magic weaponry. Not so bad if you're just going to use normal swords, though. Anyways, but yeah, it's certainly a mechanic, and it's something that you should think about as I'm walking around. That everywhere that I walk around to, if it's not being cleaned actively, it's going to be retainted, and all the trees are going to start to melt. So, unfortunate truth of the matter. Man, I did not mean to talk this much. But it's good. We got that little mechanic out of the way for talking about. I'll remind you when it's important. Anyways, so we got a couple different options for where we go next. We could go... I'm definitely going to hit the tundra taiga. I need to get to the taiga. I'm definitely going to hit the taiga today, or at least attempt to. It's going to be hard. I would really like the awesome item. And I really want to hit the iceberg, which is up there. It's got good loot in it. I don't think it has lapis. But I really necessarily, I need that. Because I don't have good enough reflexes in this game to deal with the guys there without the cheat item. So I think we're going to head to the taiga and hope. I'm going to take a little bit of an alternate route there than I normally do. I often come in from the ocean, but I'm going to travel across the land because the tentacles, those are the tentacles that wave on the horizon. You'll see those guys occasionally. I try to stay away from them. When you're going past them, they'll shoot up little spikes, and they'll hit you and knock you around, and that's really annoying and really bad. So that makes it very hard to climb cliffs, for instance. If you're getting knocked around like that, it'll knock you off the cliff, and you'll lose a lot more progress, even with a mouse and keyboard. So we're going to try to go across the land route, which is more food and potentially a lot more dangerous because we're have to deal with monsters and stuff, but it's the price of not physically versus impossible. I'll try to make a little waypoint on the map to show you where we're going. We'll also hit Tundra Cave. It's just over the way from Omega on the way, and we might get Biodome Gamma over there in the Tundra. So, with that kind of travel plans out of the way, let's get into it. Sorry about that. I'm going to make my formal break right about here. We'll come back and chat just real fast, and then we'll get into it because we kind of did just do the recap. But yeah, sorry about that. The cat just he gets up there and he's like, "I want to get down," or rather, "You're not doing what I want you to," and then he's. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my single hand playing a piano and managing cat. That was fun. But yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break here. So just stand up, stretch, grab some more water. So I'll be right back. Sorry. All right. So again, just a quick recap. We just made it to the taiga, or to not the taiga, the tundra. I can't ever get those straight. We just made it to the tundra, and essentially, what's next is to go from here over to Gamma, and then from Gamma we're going to cut across the ice to the edge there. I'm not going to come in from the northern end of the continent. I'm going to come in heading from east to west across that little nub. And we're actually not going to go to the teleport. We might get the teleport if I'm feeling adventurous, but generally speaking, that's very dangerous. Because there's some wolves nearby, and as previously mentioned, there's tentacles, stuff. So instead, we're going to go straight to what's important about the Taiga teleport. And I'll pause and mention what we're doing when we get there. Yes, enjoy. So, uh, man, this is gonna be tight. All right, so big issues that we're gonna have. We're gonna be struggling on food because we're gonna take a bunch of damage and we need food to heal. So I grabbed some extra food. Other thing to be noted: water buckets. If you because of the way clear blocks work in earlier, especially in early games of Minecraft, but this works in normal Minecraft too. The taint is a block such that when you put water on that block, it instantly breaks. Taint normally takes a long time to break, so the water bucket is in the hotbar so that we can quickly break taint if we need to. Um, the ethereal blooms will let us do good with those. And again, we're going to be aiming for a certain hill. And we're going to dig straight down on top of that hill. And I really don't want to break the spawner. But I'm going to get completely swarmed otherwise. I think we'll just try to be quick about the spawner. Yes. Anyways, enjoy. We found it. All right. Oh, that was stressful. I was really worried that I had found the wrong hole, uh, or that I had found the wrong mountain. So what this is the stronghold. Welcome. Um, yeah. So normally, in like normal Minecraft, you're supposed to make Ender eyes and find this place. And when you get here, the portal doesn't look quite right. And when I break down into that room, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to fall right into the portal room, uh, because I'm on the right mountain, the room's quite big. So when I fall right into the portal room, there'll be a silverfish spawner, and we do not want to mess with the silverfish spawner. What we want to do is get out of there as fast as possible. But we need to get there. The portal's different. There's a portal to the last millennia. It's a block from extra utilities that's in there. And so to get that block, we have to cover up the lava underneath of it, come over top, break the block, drop down, place another block, and get out. And then run for our lives into the rest of the dungeon. Hopefully not being tailed by too many silverfish. So that's kind of where we're at. I hope that I don't die, but if push comes to shove, the most important thing is that I get that block. Um, so wish me luck. almost made it. I almost made it. I really almost made it. Ah. Oh well. Mostly what just happened is I hit the wrong note. I was supposed to hit space bar note, which had been this. Apparently that turns on and off my mic when I do that. Yes, that's the button I should have hit, and I hit the one next to it, and I didn't go up, and that one's a very tight air gap, so yeah, I died. But I got everything I needed to, and I was just trying to get out and get home, so we're good. So what is up with this last millennia portal that's so important and so fundamental to what's going to happen for the rest of our stream? Well, let me show you. So the first step is to understand that now that we take translation samples, we take all that random stuff we find, turn into translation samples, give those translation samples to the xenobiologist, and he gives us translation devices, which we can then use on stuff like the untranslated ancient alien grimoire, or some of the other material to find story bits. But we're going to need one for our next task, because, come with me and you'll see. So this guy here is Archmage Zillith. Archmage Zillith, you can find in some of the other lore and stuff as we go through the game. But as we will talk to him, and I will probably skip through his text very quickly, it's because I'm not good at reading or navigating. But essentially, I'll give you the gist of it. This guy is the guy who made the taint. He is the last survivor of this entire world and all the people who lived in it, and he feels bad about it, and he really regrets it. But he also, he's stuck here. So he supposedly modifies the Ender portal to take him to this Pog dimension. Goes to the story, and from there he's just been researching and trying to figure out stuff on how to fight the taint. He's totally cool with us taking over the world and everything. It's all doomed. And he wants to help us get rid of the stuff on the world. And so he's going to give us things, boxes of magic, right? Because remember, I was saying in Thumbcraft, there's different kinds of magic. There's alchemy magic, and there's wand magic, Viz and Essentia. Or rather, Essentia is the liquid stuff. We use to do alchemy and infusing and stuff. And Viz is the wand type of magic. So he's going to give us Essentia, vials of Essentia, which is really, really good. He will also give us shards, and he will, in those boxes, which are really useful for other things. And he will give us, there's a couple other items that can appear in these boxes, and they're really good, and they will be invaluable for getting some of the random loose Essentia that we don't want to go out of our way to get. So he will also give us endless quantities of the first 6 primal Essentias. So really, really good stuff to get this guy as early as possible. Yeah. The other thing that we're going to see is in the room right back there is all of his research notes, which means that we are going to skip from not knowing anything about Thumbcraft all the way up to being able to get and use the basic equipment and create the basic taint removing things. So we're going to be able to create ethereal blooms after we read that research, as well as create something called a dawn totem. Dawn totems are going to be our best friend for a long time. Dawn totems clear a much, much larger area. And if that wasn't the end of this, what else is in that chest in there is a stack of ethereal blooms and 4 dawn totems. So this is a great haul if you haven't noticed. To our right or left here, we've got, there's actually something called a runic matrix, which we can use for infusing later, which is another type of crafting that's important in this mod pack. So, and a bunch of jars. So, if it isn't obvious yet, this is probably one of the most useful caches of items and things in the entire game. There is certainly some extremely valuable things located in other locations on the map. But yes, this is probably the biggest boost up we're going to get in the entire game. For the longest time when I was playing this game, I didn't realize you could move the portal from the thing, but it's just a block. So yeah, we just go in, we pick it up, and we take it home. And the main reason also, I guess I didn't explain myself, I didn't want to break the spawn cage because silverfish can be killed for silver nuggets, as well as they can be killed with a special weapon later to get a certain kind of special item that has to do with the aspects. We'll get into that later. It's called the Cursed Blade that we're going to use. But when you kill silverfish with it, you get Metallum Soul Essence, and that's not easy to get a hold of, and it's useful for certain kinds of things that have to do with the soul stuff. So we'll get into all that later once we're heavy into the automation. So, without further ado, we are going to loot to our heart's content here, and yeah, it's going to be great. So, also he's going to ask for cake. We'll give him cake someday. I don't have getting cake on me if it wasn't obvious. So, Enjoy. All right, folks. That's all. That's the end of my stream today. So yes, thanks for coming and hanging out. Um, yeah, a lot of explanation going on today. I know this game can be kind of hard to follow, especially if you hardly know Minecraft. And then like I'm adding a whole nother layer of insanity on top of it. So sorry about that if you are getting left in the dust. Um, but yeah, so essentially this now opens up a huge amount of stuff that we can do. There is some more loot things I'm going to need to get around to sooner rather than later, so I can get things started properly. But namely, I gotta get the lapis, so I can get into some of those other harder to get to places because they have harder guards. So yes, there is also the aspect that we've got going here that yeah, so we're starting to transition. Remember when I talked about this game being broken into kind of sections? So the first part's kind of maybe the setup beginning-ish, right? We can actually leave the biodome officially. Once you get past kind of that predecessor like tutorial, then we're kind of, I usually play the game and I enter kind of an exploration mode. I start exploring, I grab these main loot caches, we bring all that stuff together so we can start really building the base. One of the core aspects of the bases I tend to build in this game is this big old green patch we got outside of our dome now. That lets us build and have space to place things, right? The dome gets very cluttered very quickly if you start placing everything inside the dome, because there's lots of different kinds of mods and they need lots of different items and things to have and do. So I like to keep a big old lawn, and I defend that lawn using at least 2 of my totems usually. That keeps it safe from taint, and it generally keeps the borders far enough that the monsters don't come onto my tainted area. So, you know, I get a big old lawn, I start putting things out there. Moving forward, I don't know if we'll do it this next one, but pretty soon here we'll be looking to make our first and main, the first main chunk of automation that we're going to be using throughout the rest of the game. I know there's lots of like throughout the rest of the game. So we're going to need some more blocks, and what we're going to build is we're going to build a mob farm. So that's kind of our next kind of main goal. We're going to need some lapis so we can get the trap, so we can go and explore stuff. And in particular with that, to really build our mob farm, what we're going to build in particular is a cursed earth mob farm. There's a certain type of block in the game called cursed earth, and yeah, and it spawns monsters like crazy in the dark. This thing is going to overflow with items more than we can even take care of, and that's going to be a whole predicament. So if you recall, maybe an episode or 2 ago, I said that bone meal was not going to be a problem. That's because we're going to have more bones than we know what to do with. So yes, once we get that put together, that's going to be our big next kind of goal, is to, right? Because what that gives us is mob drops. Mob drops are extremely useful in this game. They give us all sorts of stuff, right? From string, which is nice, to heads. Zombie heads and skeleton heads can be used to stabilize runic matrices, and I haven't really gotten into those, but they need a certain number of items around them in order for them not to like literally explode while you're trying to craft things. So those are very important for those. Rotten flesh can be turned into humanus, which is a very important material for creating golems, which is good for Thumbcraft automation. The mob farm will later be used with the cursed spirit blade in order to obtain essentia, soul aspects, which will let us spawn monsters eventually, as well as be used as essentia in our various crafting endeavors going forward. So that's huge for that. Bones, of course, we can use for bone meal and other things. I can't remember everything that comes out of this, but there's a lot. And so yeah, it all starts, usually this all starts with the mob grinder. So the mob grinder is going to be huge. But we need cursed earth, and cursed earth can only really be obtained from a sigil, and you need the sigil, and the sigil's in the iceberg. So we have to fight the guys in the iceberg to get a sigil to get cursed earth. We also need silk touch because that's the most effective way to do it without dying. So that means we're going to need some gold and some emerald. Emerald we can go get easily. It's a couple places really abundantly, so shouldn't be that bad. From cursed earth, we'll get a bunch of blocks. That comes with the tool table that we just got. We'll get the better equipment that I was talking about midstream here, and get a lot more blocks, get a lot more mining done. And that will give us the blocks required to build the structure. And then, yeah, we're pretty much to the mob farm. So it's a lot of parts, I know, and it's a lot of things to keep track of, but it's not really that complicated. Mostly we just need to get blocks, we need to get lapis, and then we need to pick up some gold and emeralds and stuff, and we'll pretty much have the whole mob farm put together. And that will be our first main part of automation. So I am skipping a little bit of the exploration, namely, so we might do the ship next time. We'll see. Anyways, lots and lots and lots of stuff to get to, and I'm super excited because we are making great progress. We officially have somewhere to stand. So, look at me nerding out with no one in chat. Anyways, no, it's good. It's good. So hopefully that'll be the next thing to work toward is the lapis to get the awesome cheat items to then explore some more places to get the equipment that we need to build our first farm. I'm also hopefully going to get enough diamonds that I never have to worry about food again. I know, like I said, we would work on food, but I'm just going to skip food. I'm going to cut right to what we do for the end game food, and because we're that close. So stay tuned for how I totally skip making any proper farm because it's too hard. Let's wrap up. Until next time, folks. See ya.